Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to outsmart these 3 most known stereotypes on GTA Online. So we got the beach players, and then on this other side we got the city players, and obviously we got the base players, right? So additionally 7 tips is what I'm going to be adding, and I hope obviously you guys listen well, because these tips can actually beat them in their own territory, just with a little bit twisted ways. Alright.
Might be a helicopter.
Yeah, I see a helicopter icon. Blip.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. So as you guys could see with this clip, yes, the jetpack is undetectable. So for the first tip that I'm going to be showing you on how to obviously destroy vehicles, like abusive vehicles, maybe like jets and oppressors and stuff like that, it will also best work on armored vehicles, is this new technique that I'm going to be showing you on this video. It's with the jetpack. So due to the fact that the jetpack is undetectable, you can actually make it even more detectable by just going passive mode inside the jetpack. So obviously if you guys know, like jetpack does have homing launchers, we can just go passive mode. So right over here we just went passive mode, and all you really want to do is obviously tell your friend that's in the lobby to invite you to CEO, and then you can just use the homing launchers inside the jetpack. And let's say you feel danger, or you just already damaged the target's vehicle that you're going against, you can literally hop back in passive mode at any time and whenever you want, due to the fact that you don't actually go passive mode in a bad way. You go from a CEO invite. So every time you just go in passive mode through like a CEO invite, you can still go back on out the passive mode by just telling your friend to invite you to CEO. So if you do this like back and forth with the CEO invites, you will technically have unlimited passive mode, right? And also on top of that, you are undetectable due to the fact that this I think PS5 like bugs. I'm pretty sure GTA Enhanced is like quite buggy, but other than that, you can actually damage a vehicle by constantly doing this. Let's say like an insurgent or something, and it's a very good way to kill Tryhards in general. So yeah guys, if you were actually thinking about like not using the jetpack that you got probably from the 50% discount sale, just click double sort by price, just in case if you also want to buy it, and if you already haven't got it, there it is, the jetpack right there. You can actually buy it for the most price of like $3.6 million. It does look very expensive, but at least you can go and passive inside a weaponized vehicle, which is crazy. Alright, so for this one I'm actually going to be exposing my traditional trick that I've always been using. So of course it's the snacks, but it's more into it. You can actually have more snacks on GTA 5 Online than you think you can. So obviously if you're a Tryhard, you should know like Colas probably 10, Ego Chasers 15. Now I'm going to be showing you how to get additional extra 1 for each slot that you basically want, or maybe just every slot you can have extra snacks. So snacks are very abusive in heists and obviously in PvP 1v1s if you know how to use them. But in this video, in this part of the video, let's just say it like that, here's a trick that you can actually increase each one of them. What you gotta do is literally, like, instead of buying those snacks, I would suggest going on cops from blind eye, because if you do this it will give you cops, but you can shoplift, and as you shoplift it actually gives you an additional snack. So if you cycle through all these stores, not the same one by the way, you can actually shoplift from every one of those stores, and you can have an additional of all those snacks by just a little bit of number 1 more. So I'll show you guys how to afterwards abuse this trick with having more snacks, but it also gives you the from 0% of your health. If you were to use all these extra snacks, it will give you 65% of your health back. So snacks in general are a very good way to obviously win like PvP 1v1s, or just in heists, because in general you're literally restoring 65% of your health. As you guys obviously seen, like I was literally like 1 HP, and then I went to 65% of my health right away. So yeah, this shoplifting trick, I actually don't know where I found it from. I hope like no one really did this before, but if you guys did, you guys are really funny trying to get that little extra cheap free snack. But it's actually a great way to start ready before you do something such as a heist or maybe a PvP scenario going on, and just having a little bit of an extra snack before it. Alright, so now I'm going to be showing you guys some more extremely secret tips about beach players. Now, Of course, you hate when this happens, right? You get the double shotted every time because literally you open your sniper and then the moment you see your health go down and the moment you're trying to actually kill yourself, you get double shotted. Just like that. And it happens a lot, and that's like the point of the BJW. But you've been probably seeing a lot of people doing this trick where like they basically roll out. Now, the thing is, this is actually a way to avoid dying, as the moment you get shot, you basically just roll and then kill yourself. So it's like a way to pretty much 50% off. You get shot as you're rolling, you won't die. You will only be able to die if you're about to get off your roll and then you get sniped. So right now, as you guys can see, I just did the roll trick and I didn't die due to the fact that that's the point of the trick. It's a really good way to, instead of using sticky bombs and stuff like that, you can actually not be more fearless and just fight by your own self, and just every time you get shot you basically just roll and just clear yourself with a homing launcher. Although I would say that this is a sort of a dirty technique that only few of the beach players know on the GTA Online community as of right now, but I would say that do not abuse this on like 1v1s as much. And if you want to have a clean 1v1, instead of just saying, hey, don't do it, just make it as a rule. You know what I'm saying? Make it as a rule, because I know that this is a very abusive of a trick and it's really hard to get the hang of it. But it is beach, guys, and you know, beach is not my favorite area to play, but I would say that this is just at least a way that you can just avoid dying right away from the second bullet shot. And yes, there's a massive possibility that it also might not happen at sometimes, but it's definitely more safer rather than just, you know, shooting a rocket down. Now this tip is just going to be like a little bit of an advice. So if you're good with a sniper, all I'm saying is just stay in your range, because that's your power. I see a lot of snipers actually letting themselves down, as if your enemy, right, is better in AW and let's say is a base player, that's mostly why their AW is good. You have to stay as further as possible you can be from them. And this is also goes like vice versa not. So let's just say, like, if you're good with AW, you actually gotta do the opposite. You need to stay as close as possible to the sniper that you're versing, because their usually weaknesses are like, you know, upside down basically. And if your sniping is good, as you guys are seeing, like, just stay in your range. But if your rockets, and basically all AW means like all weapons, right? So if your AW is good, you shouldn't really just like always go for snipes, and that's what kind of like breaks like the fun out of the game, as sometimes people only use AW. If you want to, like, if you're good in both, you can probably stay in mid-range, but I would still not consider you fighting people with AW, you know, skills being high, because this is literally what's gonna happen to you every time. And yeah, you can do this yourself if you get the right settings. I'll show you guys my settings at the end of the video, by the way, just in case if you're wondering.
Wow, you're accurate.
But yeah, as you're a sniper, stay as far as you possibly can so you can get these kills up. There you go. Tip number 5 is going to go for the stereotype of tryhards, base players. Now, a lot of people always in base, or you know, start playing base, and they think that the shotgun is the best thing, right? Every time you fail a kek, you just start shotgunning and stuff like that. Maybe try get a shotgun kek. Shotgun keks will almost never happen against good players, so you shouldn't really focus on that. You should focus on with rockets, because with rockets, even if they roll, you can still kill them, just like that. And most likely after they roll, they will just shotgun you back. They're not going to use an MG, they're not going to shoot a rocket. They're going to shotgun you, and that's the animation you're going to be seeing every time as you get good with your homing launchers from close range, as you're, you know, doing the roll tricks. So yeah, it's way better than shotguns, and a lot of people also, like, as I'm streaming, underestimate this technique, and that's what basically like most people get killed. Just remember, even if you mess up your kek with a rocket, you can still kill them if you roll right after you shoot the rocket. And that reason that it's making you very safe to do this kill is because you're actually, as you shoot the first rocket, it doesn't really matter if you get them or not. You're still messing up their recoil, making your next shot with the homing launcher be deadly, as they must roll, which kind of gives you that time to shoot the second rocket. Tip number 6, which is going to be also the last tip for base, is going to be the beginner tip. It's actually turning into a very advanced tip. So everybody knows that the main spawn is quotes the main spawn, and it's like the best spawn that everybody should really aims for. But what if I were to tell you that there's actually better spawns on GTA Online that you can actually go to that will literally help you gain more advantage in multiple areas, and you can basically call them as main spawn. Over here where I am right now is actually a very good spawn because you control the whole base from here too, and this is called a sniper lock area. So from here you can actually aim everywhere on GTA Online at the base spawns. So let's say they're spawning on the right, which they can, and then you can shoot a rocket right there. You can even shoot it at the back. You are controlling everything, and if a player spawns in, they know 100% that they are under pressure no matter what, because you are basically aiming on them forward. And here I just shot all the spawns around you, just so you guys know, in 1v1 areas. You are basically can own this as a main spawn more better, as if you are like as better snipers. This spawn right there is very good for snipers, by the way. And last but not least, obviously, to make your sniping and your skills better in certain scenarios, here are my settings that I would really suggest you guys to get. This is really good for mostly PS5. I'll explain you guys why. And here there is right there, first person control type. Just instead of putting standard FPS 2 as most of you guys have, just put a standard FPS. That will actually give you also the availability to have interaction menu open whilst you're rolling. So this is what I'm talking about. Just right there, as you guys see, I can roll and have my interaction menu. Basically, I can even use snacks if I really want to. So yeah, this settings is way better than standard FPS 2 due to that one more availability, you know, point that it actually covers down. And my settings over here is basically 8 bars on the first person aim and acceleration. This one, third person, is 3, and these two dead zones are 7, which is half, as every bar on GTA Online settings are 14 bars. So you guys can definitely cop my settings. I'm not even gonna lie, these settings are very advanced, especially in GTA Enhanced if you are experiencing them. And you can also be very accurate, and these are also my HDR calibration settings. Obviously contrast being all the way high is like a very good way that you guys can see further. And if you guys have any questions regarding this, you know, tips and tricks, just let me know, and I can actually give you more you know, tips and advices, even on live streams, by the way. I always do, so make sure you guys subscribe so you guys don't miss them out, and like up this video if it obviously helps you, and I will see you guys later with more tips and tricks.